The kid they said was too reckless. The kid who took criticism for his driving style for 3 straight years. Carson Hocevar, 23 years old, Spire Motorsports number 77. At Talladega Superspeedway, he silenced every single one of his critics in the most dramatic way possible by winning his first career NASCAR Cup Series race. But the way he did it, and what he did during the celebration, has the entire NASCAR world stunned. Stay with me, because this story has a twist nobody saw coming. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We cover every breaking NASCAR story the moment it happens. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what Carson Hocevar just pulled off changes the entire 2026 season. Let's set the stage. Coming into Talladega, Carson Hocevar was not on anyone's list of favorites. He'd spent 3 years in the Cup Series, taking heat from veterans, from media, from fans. His driving style was called imprudent. Drivers had called him out publicly. Some inside the garage said he was a wreck waiting to happen. And through all of it, Hocevar just kept showing up to work. Then, Sunday happened. Because what Carson Hocevar did in the final 3 laps of the Jack Links 500 wasn't just impressive. It was the kind of drive that changes a driver's entire career. And the margin of victory? You won't believe how close it was. After the big one on lap 115 took out 26 cars, the field was decimated. Only 16 cars were on the lead lap when racing resumed. The track was littered with debris. The red flag had been thrown. And from that chaos, Hocevar emerged as a real contender. The final laps came down to a green-white checkered shootout. Hocevar lined up on the front row alongside RFK Racing veteran Chris Buescher. Behind them, a desperate pack of survivors. And in those final 3 laps, Hocevar did something that nobody expected from a driver labeled as too aggressive. He drove with surgical precision. He held his line. He worked the air. He didn't make a single mistake. And when the checkered flag waved, Carson Hocevar had beaten Chris Buescher by 0.114 seconds. 1/100th of a second swings. And that race goes the other way. And then came the moment that broke the internet. Because Carson Hocevar didn't just take a normal victory lap. Oh no. He climbed out of his number 77 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet while the car was still moving and sat on the window ledge, riding around the entire 2.66-mile Talladega Superspeedway, like a king on a parade float, soaking up the cheers of the massive Talladega crowd. The grandstands erupted, cameras swung, social media exploded. NASCAR Twitter went into meltdown. And Hocevar? He was grinning ear to ear. But what he said after he climbed down, that's the part that hit different. That's the part that shocked everyone. Because the celebration wasn't just about the win. When Hocevar finally got to victory lane, microphones in his face, he opened up. He said, quote, "I've had this thought up for a while, and I've messed it up every which way to not be able to do it. And I don't care if it took me 20 minutes or whatever. I was going to figure out how to do it." He was talking about the celebration, but then he got real. Carson Hocevar said, quote, "I'm just so thankful. This is the biggest dream I've ever thought of." And then came the line that made grown NASCAR fans tear up. Hocevar said, "Hopefully my grandfather is watching." That moment changed how a lot of people see Carson Hocevar. Here's what makes this win so significant. This is the second time in 3 races that a driver earned his first career Cup Series victory. Ty Gibbs won at Bristol 2 weeks earlier. Now Hocevar at Talladega. And what does that tell us? It tells us that the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series is officially up for grabs. The old guard is being challenged. The young guns are showing up. And Spire Motorsports just won at Talladega. But here's the part of this story nobody is talking about. Because while Hocevar was celebrating, the criticism didn't stop. In fact, it got louder. And what one veteran driver said about this win is going to surprise you. Over the past 3 years, Carson Hocevar has had public friction with multiple drivers. We've covered it on this channel. The aggressive moves at intermediate tracks, the contact incidents, the post-race confrontations. And while everyone is celebrating his Talladega win, the question being whispered in the garage is this: does one win at a superspeedway where the lottery factor is highest in all of NASCAR actually prove the critics wrong? Or did Carson Hocevar just get lucky on a day when 26 cars wrecked in front of him? That's the debate that's tearing NASCAR fans apart right now. But here's the truth. Lucky or not, Hocevar was in position. Lucky or not, he held off Chris Buescher by 0.114 seconds, and Buescher is one of the most experienced superspeedway racers in the field. Lucky or not, his name is now in the record books forever. And no critic, no veteran, no media member can take that away from him. So, what does this win mean going forward? 3 big things. Number 1, Spire Motorsports is now officially a contender for the playoffs. Number 2, Carson Hocevar's reputation just went from young driver to watch out for to young driver who can actually win. That changes sponsor conversations, contract talks, and team dynamics. And number 3, the rest of the Cup Series garage just got put on notice. The 77 car is for real. What did you think of Carson Hocevar's win? Was it deserved? Was it luck? And was that window ledge celebration the greatest first win moment in recent NASCAR history? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video on screen right now where we break down the Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain controversy from the same race. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.